Hi everybody, this is Sandy Reese with Stampin' Up. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Thanks so much for joining me for our first ever live card class. I've been a demonstrator of over 20 years and most of my business is in person. I usually do 6 to 7, sometimes 8 events live every month. And so I thought, well, let's go ahead and try doing our card class online. We did do it in person, so it's tonight. So we're going to do it the third Thursday of every month. Except in May, I'll be traveling with Stampin' Up in May, so we'll have a different date that month. But I wanted to give this a try, let you guys who can't come to in-person card classes, let you have an opportunity to get the project. So I'm going to go over how this is going to work. So I will first do the Facebook Live, and after the video post, I will add an ordering link in the description of the video. And then if you're watching on Facebook, it will post a little later. I do this live at noon. It will probably post about 1 o'clock or when I get finished, I'll post it on YouTube, and then the ordering link will be in the video description. So I will also do a blog post, and in the blog post there will be, show all the supplies that I used. Oh, I got something in my eye, sorry. I'll show everything that I use. There will not be measurements, but there will also be a link to order there. And so you have 1 week from today until next Wednesday, or I'll give it till next Thursday, to place your order using the host code. And if you place an order of $35 before tax and shipping, you're going to get the packets for the 6 cards. If you place an order of $50 before tax and shipping, you're going to, with your order, you're going to get a free celebration item during January and February. So that's always great to get free stuff. And then you'll get the packet of 6 cards, and you'll also get a packet of embellishments or ribbon or whatever it is that month. So I'll try to use those embellishments on all the cards. And this month, you're going to get a pack of the iridescent rhinestone gems. These are gorgeous. They go with everything. So you won't want to miss out. Now, when you get the card packet, you'll get all the cardstock already cut. I will not be die cutting what we're using in the bundles. So today we're featuring the Around the Bend bundle, which has a stamp set and then a bunch of dies. Already taken out some that we're going to use today. So you'll be able to die cut your pieces at home. So you're going to need the bundle, or you can use something if you have something similar, or you want to do something different. You don't have to have the bundle, but if you have the bundle, great. If you don't have it, that might be something you want to purchase with your on your order. I actually think this bundle is just like 51 something. It'll be on the blog, but it's enough to get your free celebration item. So your kits will not include embellishments or ribbon, okay? So the ribbon I'm using today is let's find it here. It's this gorgeous white glittered organdy ribbon, which also goes with everything. So if you don't have some of this, you may want to add that to your order. Okay, I will also give you some color adjustments. If you don't have all the Stampin' Up colors, you can, I'll give you some other, colors that you can use to go with it. Let's see, what else? I think that's it. If you have questions, just post them below. I'll answer it. Since I've done a little bit of online classes. We did it with during the pandemic shutdown, but in our state, we were only shut down for a couple of months, and then we started having classes again. So, I think this is going to be great. And then also on Saturday and Monday, I'll be posting more projects using this bundle. So you're going to not just get the 3 today, but you'll get more. So the kits come with 3 cards, or 6 cards, 2 each of 3 designs. So you're going to get 2 packets. And then as we're working, I'll show you how they're already packaged, ready to go. You'll also get a PDF emailed to you with the link to the YouTube video, so you can always come back and, you know, check that for reference. And there's pictures and instructions in the PDF as well. So I think we're all set. So I'm going to just flip you all down. Let's get this, and we are going to get started. All right. I just need to lift this up a little bit. Let's see if that's high enough. That's really close. Hold on a sec. Let's get it up a little higher. Okay, that's better. We don't need to see me. Just tip it down a little. Okay, sorry. I'm not, you know, technology. I'm getting there. It takes a while. Okay, let's get this centered. We need to flip this upside down. Hold on a sec. Let's get this flipped so it will look right side up. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to take that in place so I make sure I stay in screen. All right, so today we're featuring the Around the Bend bundle and the Around the Bend dies. Super cute, very versatile. You can use the dies with other stamp sets. You can use the stamps with, you know, other products as well. All right, let's see. On our first card, this is the first card we're going to make. And this designer paper is from the Dainty Flowers. This is one of the celebration items. So if you're ordering the bundle and the ribbon, you can get this celebration paper for free. So I'll make sure I list that on the supplies. Now in the packet, I'm just making one of each today. So you'll be getting 2 of these. All right, so we have our card base, we have our designer paper, we have a piece of white, and then this is to die cut our flowers. So the cardstock is already scored, so let's get this folded. Grab my bone folder. All right, then we're going to just adhere this piece of designer paper to the bottom. Ooh, this side's really pretty too. All right. Okay, now with this one, let's go ahead and do our die cutting. I normally do this ahead of time, but for the card class, we're going to do it here so you can see in case you have questions. Grab our Stamp-A-Cut and Emboss machine. All right, now I'm cheating because I am using our old magnetic pad. I just can't let it go. All right, so we can run this all through at one time. We're gonna put our flower, and this is Starry Sky, is the blue. Now, if you don't have Starry Sky ink, you can use Night and Navy if you want. Okay, now we're just going to cut. Let's see how far we've got. You want to make sure when you're die cutting, because all these holes are showing through, so you don't want to cut it too high where our where it's not going to be shown through on the designer paper. You want all this to be showing the designer paper. All right, so I'm just putting this about 1/2 inch up. I just want space to put my flower and my sentiment. All right, we're going to crank this through. And I make sure it goes all the way through and then crank it all the way back. Then we can check it. And if for some reason things don't come out all the way, I'll show you what to do. Now these dies are all in the bundle. Okay, we've got our flower center, and then look at that. Isn't that so cool? Now we have all this. I usually just kind of tap it on the counter and all of that pops out. If it's not popping out, you can poke it out or use the brush tool to kind of get the rest out, but literally tap it a couple times and it's out. Let's clear this off. This is a little bit of a messy die. So just be aware. Okay, so we have a little bit of paper still stuck in some of those holes. So let's just grab this and do a little raking. I like to call it, I feel like I'm raking it out. Okay, we're gonna just poke out a few that don't want to come. Okay, super easy. We're gonna have to sweep after this, but that's okay. All right, so next, let's make sure we don't lose our flower. I'm using Starry Sky. Like I said, you can use Night and Navy if you don't have Starry Sky. And then this is a sentiment called You're a Blessing. Now it comes a little bit curved. I want it more curved. So I'm gonna take this and kind of bend it up a little bit here because I want it to fit into that little curved area. So these rubber stamps and the clear photopolymer can all be curved a little bit more than and shaped to the angle that you would like them. Okay, I'm gonna stamp that. And I normally don't stamp the inside of my card because this could be for a number of different occasions. All right, let's adhere this down. This is a super quick card to do, and it just looks gorgeous with all the die cutting. All right, there we go. Okay, we're going to now just use a little piece of ribbon. Let me find it here. Okay, I've got just a little piece of this ribbon cut. And I'll trim it after I put it on, but I want to adhere it to the back of my flower and just have a little tail kind of coming down. So you can use some adhesive, you can use a piece of tape, glue dots, whatever you have. I'm gonna put one there, and then I'm going to put a little adhesive right on top of my ribbon. If I can get it going, there we go. Just fold that over so it holds it down perfectly. All right, let's do our trimming. Grab my ribbon scissors. I have a charm that I put on my ribbon scissors so that I don't get them confused. Okay, let's pop this up now. We're going to use some dimensionals as soon as I find them. All right here on the back, I'm going to set that right there. Then we're just going to put this little center on our flower. So I'm using the Snail Plus adhesive. So sometimes that sticks out. You want to make sure all your adhesive is hidden. If, let's see, we've got a little piece right here that's still not there. Now, I did not put adhesive on this panel. If you want it kind of sticking up for some dimension, just leave it. If you don't like that, you can just add a couple of drops of liquid glue, just very small dabs. Sometimes our glue gets a little stopped up. Just going to pull out whatever's dried up in there. So we don't have an explosion. Hold on one sec. I can grab it with this thing. There we go. All right, got a little too much going. Sometimes it gets a little air bubble and then it wants to go crazy. We don't want that. So we're just going to use some of this that we already squeezed out. And just put a couple of dabs. You don't want too much because you don't want it squeezing out. Just a couple of dabs under there and maybe over in the corners. Get that right there. and that will hold it right down. Okay, let's add some rhinestones. I've got my putty in since I had my brush in there. And I think on this one, we're just going to use maybe a medium. Let's a medium. Let's do a small and one more small. Cute. I love those things. Okay. All right, that is card number 1. Let's go on with card number 2. This is our second project. This one actually has some heat embossing. Isn't that cute? All right. Now we don't have, you won't notice this one in your die set immediately. But what we're going to use is this same one that we just used. We're going to use it again, but instead of cutting like this, so the dots are on here, we're going to turn it upside down and just use the cutting edge to cut this. Okay? So let's get our supplies out. All right. I've got a white piece for the inside. These are for the leaves. This is for cutting our little panel. And we're using Old Olive. And then the only ink we're using is Versamark. Okay, so I want to do my embossing here before I glue this down. Always stamp before gluing. So we're going to use the embossing buddy just on that area there. So no powder sticks. I'm going to do a hello there. All right, about here. Okay, some white embossing powder. And let's heat this really quick. That's my 25-year-old heat tool that I keep plugged in at my desk. All my Stampin' Up! Heat tools are downstairs packed up, ready for class. But we have some great heat tools. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere the inside piece too. I'm not going to stamp in here because hello there could be used for several things. This would make a great sympathy card as well. Okay, so this is some of the Dainty Flower designer paper. So I want to make sure I die cut this high enough so I'm going to cover the purple or the raspberry on the top. And I make sure it's high enough right here so that hello there shows through. So I think this is going to be good. All right. So what I'm going to do is put this, smooth this out of the way. This is our panel that's going to go underneath, and I'm going to cut this at the same time. All right. We'll cut that together, and then we're going to cut a couple leaves out of this other strip of Old Olive. Okay. Whoop, we need that. You can tell that's a well-loved magnetic plate. Okay, you do not have to use the magnetic plates for this. Let's see. I think I want to right about there. And then where'd I put my other green? I think we could probably get our two leaves at the same time. We're gonna just put that on there. All right, and our top plate. So you want to make sure your flowers are all facing in the right direction before you put this down. As I'm looking at that as I'm going through. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's see how our leaves came out. Perfect. All right, we'll take those right here. Let's take those off. Okay, so we've cut this out. Now what we're gonna do is just take that and layer that mossy meadow, or not the mossy meadow, it's old olive right underneath, and then we're just using as much as we want to show. So just like that. Isn't that perfect? All right, so let's just put a little adhesive right on the edge. We'll get our olive down first. All right, and now we're going to put the rest of it down. Oh, my hands are sticking to this. All right, perfect. Now, if you want, you know what? Let's pull this off. You can glue this down. I need to put some ribbon on here. I almost forgot. Almost forgot the ribbon. All right, so I'm using a longer piece of the ribbon. This is about, gosh, 21 inches long. However long you need it to do a bow. And then you can either, I like to pull my ribbon a little bit tighter here. You can either glue down this panel or you can pop it up. All right. I'm getting it all out of order. It'll be okay. Okay. I've already stuck adhesive, so I'm just going to glue this down. But you are welcome to pop up that panel too. Give it a little more dimension. And let's trim our ribbon right here. Okay. And then we're just going to add our leaves. I'm just using a few dots of the Tombow liquid glue. You don't want so much that it's going to squeeze out. You just want enough to hold it. That goes in perfectly with the greenery that's on this paper. Super gorgeous paper. All right. And this one's going to kind of come down this way, just like that. Okay, now let's add some rhinestones. We'll do a large one, maybe right here, and a medium, and then a couple of smalls. Let's do a small one, maybe right here, whoop, and maybe one up here. Add some sparkle. Isn't that cute? So with my sample I've done, this one has the raised panel, so you can see the difference. I like the raised, but I had already put adhesive, so we just went with flat. And if you're mailing this, you may want to use flat as well, since you do have a bow and the rhinestones. All right, that is card number 2. So you get 2 of those. And here is our last one. And this is the card we're making here. I love this one. Okay. So these are the supplies. We're using old olive again with some of the soft sea foam. I love this color. All right. Now we have, these are the 2 pieces. We're going to die cut our main section of our card. And then we're gonna do some flowers and leaves. So with this one, this is the die we're using. It's kind of a rounded die, and then it has the leaves already attached. So let's grab our machine here. Now I'm gonna go through 2 layers. It will probably not cut through 2 layers, but that's okay. So I didn't even cut this green as the olive as long because it's not gonna cut out all the way to the edge. We're just doing the corner. So we wanna make sure at least all of our leaves are within the cardstock area. Okay, and I'm cutting through 2 layers, and I'll show you why in just a minute. We need a top plate. Now I'm going to do this before I cut my flowers. Okay. So now you can see we've got that cut here. And this green, we're gonna keep the leaves on the green right here, on the olive. On the sea foam, we're not that worried about those leaves coming out because we're actually gonna trim this right off. So we're not even gonna keep those leaves. All right, so we'll do that in just a minute. And let's cut our flowers, our leaves, and our centers. So the leaves, we're gonna have to cut a few of these. We're doing three of each. Let me find my flower center in yellow. Now you might be able to cut through 2 at a time on these, but I'm just gonna do 1. And I usually, you can just kind of, if it doesn't come right out, you can kind of drop it on the table and it should pop right out. Okay. Hopefully one day Stampin' Up! Will be able to get another magnetic plate, but until then we're going to use what we have. Come on, pop out. There you go. All right, well, if it doesn't pop out, you can use your piercer or your pick tool to get this popped out. All right, one more set right there. All right, there's 1, 2, and 3. All right, these pieces are too little for my hands. Okay, I'm done with die cutting. All right, let's get to assembly. Okay, so we are going to cut this out on the this piece right here. So we're just really cutting off the flower, the leaves. Cutting in actually just slightly closer. Let's make sure we get these smooth. There. Okay, now my plate was not quite all the way, so it's got a little bit of a dent, but you know what? You can just take it on the back, smooth that out. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of stamping on here before we glue. We'll stamp and then glue. Okay, I've got this little leaf, so I'm just doing a little bit of background. Some of these will show, some of them won't show, but I just want to add just a little bit of texture to that soft seafoam piece. All right. So we are going to glue this under here so just the leaves are showing. Adhesive. All right. And then let's pop this up with dimensionals. Whoops. Put a little bit of an angle. We don't need that showing through, do we? Just trim that off. If you've got a different angle going, I think I brought it up a little high here, but that's okay. The main thing is for those leaves to be showing. And I am not going to adhere those down. All right. This has a little bit of a border, so just keep that border going around the three sides. Isn't that cute? Now, if you want to stamp something under here for a little more texture, you are welcome to. It doesn't matter. Okay, we are going to pop up our flowers. Just one dimensional each, that's all we need. Okay, we're gonna just do a little cluster of daisies right about here. Okay. And let's do our sentiment before we add the rest. I'm going to use the one that says, "I'm just so happy for you." So this could be for a lot of occasions, a new grandma, a shower, I'm going to stamp this here and make sure it's straight. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. It could be for a wedding, retirement, any happy occasion could be for. All right, I'm going to flag the right end of that. So this is going to go in. I'm leaving this because that's going to be tucked in behind the daisy there. But we're going to grab just one more piece of the ribbon, and I'm going to adhere this down. I'm going to trim it after I stick it down though. So let's just put a little adhesive right there and stick this on there. Okay, then we're going to pop up our banner so that only about half that ribbon is going to show underneath. Just a little bit peeking out so we can kind of get an idea of where we are here, and just trim that ribbon off. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we are going to glue the leaves down. Get a leaf here, over on the side, and one more. I don't use a whole lot of glue. You don't need a lot of glue, you just need a little bit. Okay, we're gonna just put a little dot in the center of each flower, and pick these up. The centers you can see on the flowers are a little bit oval, so that's how you can tell which way that goes. And if you have Wink of Stella and you enjoy glittering things up, then you can glitter the center on your flowers. You can do this on that first card too if you want. This is completely optional, but fun. And we'll add some rhinestones. Okay, let's do, I'm gonna do a large one, kind of down here. It's a nice open space, and we'll do medium, small, and another small kind of up here. Cute. Okay, and that is it. Look, isn't that cute? So with the $35 purchase, using that host code, you have to use the host code. You're going to get supplies to make all 6 of these cards. And if you spend $50, you're going to get a pack of the iridescent rhinestones for free as well. Okay, I think that's it. I will put the ordering link with the host code on the description of both the Facebook video and the YouTube description, blah, blah, blah. All right, thanks everybody. I will be back here on Saturday. I have another card to show you using this bundle. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.